You are listening to the Rick McGinnis Show podcast, where Rick and his guests talk all things affiliate program management. No topics are off limits. Want to learn proven tips and strategies to grow an affiliate program? Look no further. Now here's your host, Rick McGinnis.
Welcome back to the Rick McGinnis Show. My name is Rick, and today my guest is Chris Moderne. He is from Button. Chris, welcome to the Rick McGinnis Show.
Thanks for having me, Rick. Excited to be here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I appreciate you coming on. It's always good to talk with industry entrepreneurs and to see what's going on in the industry and what the future holds. So I look forward to this conversation.
Me too.
All right, so give the audience just a little background of who Chris is, where he started, and how he ended up co-founding Button.
Yeah, for sure. So I am not or have not historically been kind of from an affiliate background. And so spent the beginning of my career in mostly consumer and fintech. I was at Venmo before founding Button, and kind of accidentally found my way into affiliate. So Button was really founded on the belief that mobile was going to be a really, really important movement and direction in commerce. And that in doing so, it would be commerce and not ads that would be kind of the prevailing business model for that platform. And kind of as we dug into it, what I realized is that the language of commerce as opposed to ads is affiliate. And it's kind of the oldest concept that exists. Like, I send you a sale, you give me, some commission on that. And so got to go and kind of explore and learn and understand this industry from kind of an outsider's perspective. And then think about the things that we think could be better about it and work with some of the new emerging sector of companies. Like our pretty much first customer was Uber, who's a pretty different type of affiliate customer than maybe typical retail brands. And so working with kind of anchor customers like that to try and make affiliate do two things. One, work great on mobile, and two, make it smarter. Make it an active marketing channel where you can think about it as marketing against lifetime value and not just kind of cost against a transaction. And we've been on this journey now for about 6 years. We've been fortunate to get a chance to work with some of the larger brands and many of the biggest kind of rewarded incentivized shopping portals. So I think really start to make a difference in terms of making commerce a prevailing business model.
Yeah, absolutely. And when people think of affiliate marketing, they think of like just your standard coupon sites or a piece of blog content. But more and more, there's all these new technologies coming out that are making it so easy for brands to implement affiliate into their strategy that a lot of it's just no-brainers, and it's just only going to increase in the coming years. And affiliate today probably won't look the same in another 5 to 10 years. It's going to be probably majority is going to be tech driven, I would think.
Yeah, 100%. It was actually someone at the network, I won't credit them because I don't know if they would want to be credited, said something to me that really resonated, which is affiliate is the land that data forgot. And as most other forms of marketing became highly programmatic, highly measurable, affiliate somewhat lagged. And there definitely are tools, and I think there are companies that are dedicated to this and do it reasonably well. But in terms of the general level of sophistication of a program, affiliate got left way behind. And I think over the next 5 years, what we're going to see is not only it catch up, but it overtake in terms of being able to truly understand the incrementality of programs, be able to understand the elasticity of scaling up those programs, and being able to really market one-to-one in a personalized way and use it as an active acquisition and re-engagement channel and not just kind of a cost on transactions. I think affiliate's going to be 5 to 10x the size it is in 5 years, 10 years than it is now.
And we can only hope so. That would mean a lot of opportunities for everyone, more jobs, more revenue, for just growth in terms of these other capabilities. So brands can invest more into affiliate and less into the ones where they got to dump a ton of money up front, and maybe they get a return, maybe they don't. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see, but I only see positive things coming of this in the future.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy that people prefer channels where you have to gamble on your return on ad spend, where in affiliate, return on ad spend is literally the input. You can decide up front how much you want on your return on ad spend. And then the question is, how do you scale that up elastically?
You're right, though. It's even since the pandemic started, I've seen brands that have taken budget and people away from affiliate. And it's just mind-boggling on why they would do that. You think that they would take away from other channels and invest more into affiliate just because of the model and how it's set up. It's crazy.
It is. And I really see it as people take affiliate somewhat for granted. It's been around for a long time. It's been roughly the same proportion of most e-com businesses incoming users for a long time. It's run on largely the same cost basis for quite a long time. And my guess is companies think that they can pull the resources and still rely on the outcomes. But the truth is that it's a channel that now, with the tools and technology that are becoming available, we should be over investing in, increasing the investment. And I think taking budgets from places where, frankly, returns are questionable, like in a lot of search and a lot of the Google and Facebook stuff, like you're looking at getting a cost to acquire a customer that's like 80%, 90% of lifetime value. And you're having to wait months to years even to actually get upside on that customer. It is, as you said, crazy.
No, and it comes back to, this is my opinion, I'm not saying it's fact, but affiliate is the first one that's like scaled down or shut down because the education is not there and they don't know enough about affiliate to want to invest more in it. It's kind of like you don't know what you don't know, and that's how it's typically been, in my opinion. I've seen if an affiliate program is not doing well, the first thing they do is shut it down instead of trying to figure out what they can do to fix it. Maybe hiring a consultant to come in and teach them, or hiring someone that has affiliate experience. But it just it's sad that it's usually the first one to go.
100%. I think a big part of that can also be down to the data and visibility that you have into the program. I think often the affiliate marketers lack the tools and the access to data to be able to say, here's what's working, here's how it's working, and here's how we can scale it up. One of the things that we work with many customers to do is to understand, kind of both by doing in market and theoretically, what would the program look like if you do certain things? So helping them to test huge numbers of different kind of commission rates across all of their customers to understand what the elasticity is on user behavior, helping them understand true incrementality by performing actual like scientific holdout tests where some users are exposed and some users aren't, allowing them to do that on an audience basis. I think getting the data in the hands of the affiliate managers to go and support the growth of their channel, or in this case, the continued existence of their channel, is really, really important.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with that. And you mentioned it previously, and I've had this conversation on almost every single podcast I've recorded, the personalization aspect of it and bringing, and not just having it be just an acquisition channel, making it personal to the customers and showing that they're actually cared about. And just explain a little bit about what you guys do at Button to make that personalized approach and how it's worked so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are two types of personalization that I see in the industry, and then I'll talk about the one that we're doing. One is personalization as a way of managing cost. And that's largely about understanding when a transaction happens, who that customer is, and being able to, what people typically like to do is say, okay, this is an existing customer. I'm going to pay a lower commission on this customer than if it were a new customer. And that can be good for managing costs, but it doesn't actually give you any ability to increase the scale of the channel. It just changes what you pay for a customer who is going to come either way. The other is display time personalization, which is when a user's on a publisher of some sort, changing what they see, or in the case of incentivized shopping, the actual offer that they see in real time in order to influence their behavior. And that's where we focus our time and attention and help people to personalize those offers based on their understanding of the customer and our understanding of the customer, both on an interest basis, what they're more likely to want to engage with, as well as a kind of customer value, customer retargeting basis to be able to say, okay, Rick used to shop with us, hasn't bought in 90 days. It's worth increasing the rate to 8% to get Rick to kind of come back and re-engage with us. And so using it as kind of a very active channel to re-engage or engage the customers that you're most interested in. And that's where we play. And then helping you understand how to do that more effectively. So I mentioned before, helping you understand what your optimal rates are for different publishers and different customer segments by running very large numbers of these tests. And the kind of key that we bring to this is being able to do that programmatically and working with the publishers to be able to change those rates automatically. So one of the things that I think is both a strength and a weakness in affiliate is there's a lot of phone calls. There's a lot of emails. There's a lot of kind of like one-on-one coordination. And parts of that are important. The relationships are important. Other parts of it are just needless inefficiencies. So setting up the kinds of tests that we do where maybe you're running 25 different rates across 100 publishers or whatever it is, that's a whole lot of phone calls that no one wants to make. So making sure that we can run those things automatically across all of the places where the brand touches the customer without having to kind of send lists of users around and kind of all of that craziness that sometimes you see happening.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the phone calls. Every week I'm like, oh my God, I have this many phone calls every day. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, there's got to be a better way to this. In Zoom, I've been on so many Zoom meetings, and you know what the sad thing is? A lot of them are useless.
That would imply that some of them aren't.
Yeah, well, it's because you know what the problem is. What I found out, and I'm going off on a little tangent here about
Go for it.
about calls. People want to schedule like 30-minute phone calls or 45-minute phone calls. What they want to talk about can be done in 10 minutes, and then you can move on to your day and get more done. And everyone's just caught up in the actual time frame of the phone calls versus actually being productive.
Yeah, it's definitely a trap. I think all of us are guilty of falling into sometimes. Like our goal is to take the parts that don't need humans to be doing them away and let humans focus on the growing and the scaling of the program, the launching of new partnerships, the strategic kind of aspect of it.
Say you partner up with a brand. Just walk me through the process of, we'll just take Walmart, for example, because I saw you work with them. So walk me through the process of when you onboard them, like how it works and what the customers may see, and then how it all ends up in the final piece of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we work with customers in a few different ways. For a new brand, the first question is, are you coming to Button for kind of full service? And there are some customers that we kind of do everything for. But increasingly, a lot of customers already have an affiliate program set up. They have an affiliate network that they work with. And so Button really kind of sits alongside that and partners with their network and kind of bolts in as and gives them kind of a couple superpowers. The first is we switch their app on for affiliate. So we get their app set up, get kind of post-install attribution working. One of the things that many of our customers have loved is by adding the app to their program, not only do they increase conversion, they also drive installs much more effectively, much more contextually, that perform better and stick around than they can through, typically their Facebook channel or wherever else they're driving installs. The other piece is starting to use Button's Evolution suite of products, actionable intelligence and personalized campaigns, to start to change the rates that they're showing to customers inside of all of these incentivized shopping portals. Is typically kind of the first thing that we see customers doing. And so they'll test out rates, get kind of a readout of, hey, like, here's what your program would look like if you changed your rates to this level for this set of customers on this publisher. Here's what it would look like if you made this your default rate, but targeted this other set of customers with these other offers. And then from there, what typically happens is, people start making some changes to the program. So they'll set up some audiences, start targeting some groups of users with offers, and just start acting on some of those actionable intelligence outcomes.
Got it. Now, in terms of brands that you can work with, do you work with only larger companies or do you work with small brands? How does that work, and what's the process look like for that?
Yeah, great question. We have historically really focused on larger companies for a number of reasons, ranging from, obviously, like in any industry, there's definitely a very big head and a very long tail. The other is simply, with onboarding a customer and integrating into their app, we try and make it simple, but it is something that we work with customers to do. And so we're not at the stage yet where we can say, open to everybody, like, come sign up. You have 100 users, no problem, cool. Like, let's optimize those 100 users. We're not there yet. It's definitely my dream to be able to say it's completely self-serve, because I think one of the powerful things that personalization can do in affiliate is really level the playing field in terms of getting smaller brands access to the right customers. And so where, maybe they don't want to go do big ad buys or big takeover campaigns with their affiliate partners, they can target the right 10,000 users with rewards and kind of democratize access to customers. And so it's something that we're really excited about, but not ready for today. So right now we're really focused on kind of mostly the largest 1,000 retailers in the US.
Understood, because what I see a lot is with technology like yours, and there's another one that if you're familiar with the RevLifter, they work
I actually
with
learned
only
about
brand.
it on your podcast.
Oh, there you go. It's getting out there. Yeah, they're a good company. They do something slightly different than what you do, but in general, the smaller brands are not yet able to work with companies like yours and RevLifter, just because there's a lot more cost associated with onboarding a smaller shop, and then the traffic's not there and things like that. So eventually, one day, I'm sure that there's going to be something for everybody, but yeah, it's for the small clients that I like to try and bring them into the new technology, but it doesn't work out a lot of times because of their budget and their size, and it's fine. There's other ways you can work around it, but that's on my end to set expectations. But one day, right? I'm assuming one day we'll be there.
That's the dream. Like any good technology, I think once you figure out what kind of the secret sauce is and how it should all work, then you can start going down the process of, okay, how do we make this super accessible for everybody? And, build the self-serve onboarding tools and things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's only a matter of time. It's baby steps. The industry for its age is relatively young, and it's growing every single year. And I wanted to talk to you about, go back to when you first, you said you accidentally stumbled into affiliate. Were you not interested in affiliate, or you just didn't know about affiliate, and did it have a bad reputation in your mind? Just take me back there, because I want to understand a little bit more about your background with affiliate. And because you said you fell into it, and that's what I hear a lot of times. People, when I talk to them, they just accidentally found it, and it seems like that was your position too.
Yeah, I think it was mostly a case of not really knowing about it. Like I think I'd definitely been exposed to the Amazon affiliate program and knew that like there was some way of maybe getting paid for driving sales. And I think we'd all seen some of the less savory side of the industry. Like, I wonder why I'm seeing all of these ads for acai berries. Are they making money on these things? Mm-hmm. So I had kind of some anecdotal knowledge of kind of the less appealing sides of the industry. But honestly, it's one of those stupid moments where early on in Button, I was like, well, what if when they send a user who shops, we give the person who referred the customer some kind of reward for that? What an interesting idea. And then, everyone's like, Chris, you're talking about affiliate. What are you doing, buddy? And so then, opened my eyes to this whole industry out there and started learning like what was going well and what was going less well. And then really, this was 6 years ago, there really was nothing in mobile. Like it was the fastest growing channel. Increasingly, the main focus for brands, or a big focus for brands, was growing their mobile footprint, their mobile performance for commerce. And there just simply wasn't anything that was really solving that problem, or at least solving it well. And so we dug in pretty deep there and started looking at like, what would it mean to try and make this problem go away? And that was when we started learning about kind of some of the other problems, like the lack of personalization, the lack of the ability to run holdout tests and incrementality understanding and elasticity. And, where it was happening, just how much manual work was going into doing that. It was kind of phone calls or list sharing and campaign setup and all of that stuff. And so that was really where we planted our flag in. And then looking at the publisher side, it's a big industry, but it's a big industry that's dominated by a relatively small number of publishers that have a lot of traffic and send a lot of the affiliate traffic to brands. And so we're interested in how we kind of widen that top of funnel as well to create essentially a better business for many of the smaller folks on the publisher side. Again, we work mostly with large-ish companies, but the truth is, once you get past the top 5 or 6 kind of affiliate portals, they're definitely kind of a lot smaller, but I think can build really awesome businesses when you get to be able to personalize.
Yep, no, I couldn't agree more. And I saw the post you guys have integrated with Rakuten. Can you explain a little bit what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily fully up to date on exactly what's going on with Rakuten, but we're at various stages with most of the major folks on the rewarded shopping side, on the publisher side. And ultimately, we just want to make it a lot easier to do the types of campaigns that they run. So whether that's, just rate increase campaigns, segmented audience campaigns, testing on rates. And the other funny thing is, something that we've gone through probably 1,000 times now, and you've probably gone through it too, and most people listening have, trying to prove the incrementality of these channels. I think I've run or been involved in running 1,000 of them now. We've actually basically never had one that didn't come back with the same results. Yes, this is very incremental. And, ultimately it comes down to at what price, and it's just pricing the traffic. So a lot of the work that we do is around, helping them to help their brand customers choose the right rates, helping them to prove the incrementality of their own traffic, and then just running more successful campaigns.
Yeah, that incrementality has been one of the hot issues in the past few years. It's crazy because I have worked with some brands where they don't pay at all for an existing customer, and they only want new customers that are in affiliates. They only want affiliates that are going to be driving incremental value, and so it's really kind of short-sighted in a way. But it's one of those things where, as the industry evolves and the technology evolves, we're gonna be seeing different ways that it can be done, and in a lot easier. And in 5 years, we'll be talking about a different issue.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite topics, actually. It's a little bit of a pet peeve, but I understand it. So that same company that doesn't want to pay an existing user rate is running a retargeting ad for that customer that left the site and then went back to search or is on social or whatever it is. And the only reason I can come up with, and we started to see this behavior change, is by lacking that sophistication and lacking the data and visibility to be able to understand the user journey and the impact on overall lifetime value and engagement of that customer. That's what's shaping that behavior. And so by giving the tools to let them do that, that can change, because it's the rules are just very different in kind of two teams within the same department, the retargeting and the affiliate folks.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And that's one of the reasons why affiliate gets a bad reputation once in a while, is just for things like that, where publishers don't want to deal with brands that aren't going to pay them for certain things, and people think it's like snake oil, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to preach to brands when I'm consulting with them and helping them grow their affiliate program, is that you don't want to aggravate the affiliates or publishers, because they're the lifeblood of the program, and you may have to get creative with them, and it may be different than what you're used to, but you're going to have to start doing it, and you're going to have to start just evolving with how it's going, because a lot of affiliates nowadays are turning into like little micro influencers. They want a fee up front, then they'll promote the product and still get commission. So there's an evolution there as well, and I don't know how that's going to play into your space. Are you looking into like getting into the influencer space at all with this?
We work with some folks who work with influencers, kind of to our, serving hundreds to thousands of customers, not, serving millions of customers. You get to a very large number of customers as soon as you start like talking directly to influencers. Really excited by like what Reward Style are doing. We work a lot with those guys on the technology side. And so we typically work through partners in the influencer space.
Got it. Okay, perfect. And then I'm assuming that that's going to be a growth point, right? You're going to be hitting on that to try and grow that in the future.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing growth in those customers and in that segment. For us, it's about working with the right people to unlock those opportunities and, helping them to grow their businesses and just kind of seeing the growth on our side. The interesting thing is, at least from our side, what they've been looking for hasn't been terribly different than what other folks in the industry are looking for, which is, better measurement, better understanding of incrementality for brands, and then a better understanding of the actual products themselves. So at the core of affiliate is the products that are being sold and promoted. And so giving those publishers a better understanding of the products that are available, how to link to them, that kind of stuff.
Got it. So this was phenomenal. I appreciate you dropping your knowledge about just affiliate in general, where you see it going, and how your technology is going to be shaping the future of it. before we get going, this is the first time I'm doing this with the guests. So are there no, it's not bad. I wanted to know if you're a book reader, what are your favorite books? And because I'm big into reading and learning more. So if you have any books that have helped shape who you are today, I'd love to hear about them.
Oh wow, the stakes just went up. Help shape who I am today. So I don't know about shaped who I am today, but I do have a couple. So I can't read fiction. And so pretty much everything I read is nonfiction. And recently I got kind of bitten with interest in behavioral economics. And so started with Misbehaving by Richard Thaler. Really, really interesting book about kind of how the original form of economics was not a very good way of modeling real humans, and then got kind of pulled down that rabbit hole into choice architecture and how the way that we present people with choices really makes a really big impact on the choices they end up making and how that rolls into product design. And so that's been something that's been playing on my head in every decision that we make at Button, kind of in the product and in our interactions with customers. And then most recently, reading Talking with Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. I've enjoyed pretty much everything Malcolm Gladwell's done. A really interesting take on just why we are the way we are and some of the trade-offs, like evolutionarily speaking, in terms of like why we're so good at some things and so bad at others. I definitely strongly recommend it.
It's interesting. I never even thought of like something about like choice architecture and how we make choices. I never even thought about that, but it seems like a really interesting topic.
It truly, truly is fascinating. It's one of few books that I found hard to put down. And some of the examples, it's a field that's been evolving over the last 20 or 30 years. And many of the examples play out at kind of the nation state level. So like, how do you get a population to do a better job at saving for retirement? How do you help people invest in their own education? Things like that have like really big consequences. But then, how you get users to opt into individual features, it's the whole gamut.
No, I'm going to definitely have to pick that book up because that just a topic just intrigued me, and I'm going to have to dig into it a little more. And maybe one day we can have a discussion when I'm a little more educated about it.
Do a book club. I like it.
Yeah.
What's on your list right now?
No, it's funny. I'm in. It's a Richard Branson little book club I'm doing. It's like reading with Richard Branson, and I'm reading Mandela's Way right now about Nelson Mandela.
Oh, awesome! Interesting. That's cool.
So yeah, no, he's a fascinating guy. Like it's just it's really interesting and how he was so cool, calm, and collected, and hell was breaking loose around him, but he would always stay so calm and was such a great leader. It's a good book. I'm not fully done with it yet, but it's definitely intrigued me. And then I'm reading a book by Grant Cardone, the 10X Rule.
Interesting. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, so it's just basically you want to just make your life better and make your business better, and you got to just 10x everything, 10x your goals, 10x your effort, 10x everything, just because your competition is out there and you're not going to beat them unless you really put the pedal to the metal. And he pushes a lot of like financial and money pieces of it, and I'm not big into like being a billionaire and things like that, but the points are there, and it's the ways that you gotta really put the effort in, and you'll be rewarded with whatever you want, whether it be money or cars or whatever it is you want.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's interesting concept, and it's definitely true. Like you gotta set big goals to get there. Like we've definitely tried to do that. We looked at where the industry was, and we're gonna try and make this whole thing dynamic and personalized. And a lot of people along the way have been like, we're not ready for that. We don't want that. And gradually are getting there with folks.
Well, and that's the thing. It's there's resistance, and people don't like change. And the way it's going now works fine. Why do we have to change it? But change is good. Change will make things better. And you just gotta be able to just adapt and move forward. Because if you can't, you're unfortunately gonna be left behind, and it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, and I think there's a real early mover advantage here in being able to quickly expand into the new volume that's available by taking advantage.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Chris, it was an absolute pleasure having you on today. Is there a way that the audience, if they want to learn more about you, where they can do that?
Yeah, so you can learn more about Button at usebutton.com. And if you want to connect with me, best way is probably Twitter at Chris Maddern, Maddern.
Thanks, Chris, so much. I appreciate it. And maybe one day we'll start out with a book club and talk about a few books we've read.
I look forward to it. Thanks for having me, Rick. This was great.
Oh, you bet.
We want to hear what you thought about this episode. You can email Rick directly at rick@bearcatmedia.com or leave a review where you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe because new episodes will be released every Wednesday. Thank you for listening to the Rick McGinnis Show podcast. Never miss an episode by subscribing to the podcast in iTunes, Google Play, and wherever podcasts are available. To learn more about Rick, go to bearcatmedia.com.